In news that may come as a surprise to some, the Charlotte Hornets win big in a blowout victory in the first game of the season over the San Antonio Spurs, and we're going to break down the game right after this.
I'm from the foe. You dig?
Welcome to The Way I See It. This is a Charlotte Hornet and Carolina Panther fan channel, so please do me a favor and go ahead and hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. I am on my road to 1K, trying to get this channel monetized, so please go ahead and help me out with that. Now, in other news, to the topic of the video, I just got finished less than an hour ago watching the first game of the season, and I must say it was impressive, but I do have to say, I want to preface everything in this video by saying that the San Antonio Spurs look like they're going to be absolutely terrible. So this small sample size may be, minuscule in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the skill level of the rest of the league. But with that being said, we're only here to talk about what went down tonight. And my first key takeaway would have to be that, man, before Christmas Day, I would find it hard to believe that Nick Richards would not be the starting big man, the starting center for this team after his performance tonight. He went out there and he absolutely dominated in a performance that he actually came off the bench, and he and Mason Plumlee played similar minutes, but his impact on the floor was just so tremendous that it was just hard to ignore. His minutes were loud. His impact out there offensively and defensively were felt. He made you feel it. He popped off the screen, and Nick Richards had a tremendous breakout game, which was the best game of his young career so far. So shout out to Nick Richards. Terry Rozier actually started the game playing the point guard position, and he did so throughout the duration of the entire game. He actually played very well compared to what I've seen him do in the past, where he's actually struggled to make plays. He's forced a lot of passes, and he's just he's looked passive in situations where he himself would usually be more aggressive. He didn't have that issue tonight. He picked his spots well. He still got up a good amount of shots. He scored over 20. He assisted on over 5. So Terry Rozier in that point guard role tonight performed very, very well. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure a lot of people, or majority of the people that have any interest in watching this video, are aware of the James Bouknight situation that happened just a few nights ago, where he was actually found drunk with a gun, received a DWI and all that. So in my previous video, I said that I thought the Charlotte Hornets would probably not let him play at least a game or two, just optically, but I forgot that nobody really cares about the Charlotte Hornets in the grand scheme of the international media, or just just countrywide. Nobody's checking for anybody outside of LaMelo Ball. So that was a one hit story, and as soon as the next thing came, I guess it was just forgotten about. So James Bouknight throughout preseason served the role of the sixth man, with Cody Martin and Gordon Hayward not playing majority of the games, but he actually was the 8th or 9th man off the bench tonight, and I'm not sure if that's due to the fact that he got into that altercation or that situation the other night, or this is just the normal minutes distribution that Coach Clifford was going to go for, but he is not going to be the sixth man, at least as of right now. Moving on to Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward looked good, man. He looked healthy. He had a spring in his step. He was efficient. He looked just as good as he did before he went down last year, man. I believe if Gordon Hayward is able to keep up this level of play throughout the duration of the season and actually not get hurt, because his play hasn't necessarily been the issue. It's the fact that he just isn't playing. So if Gordon Hayward can stay healthy and put up the performance like he did tonight, I would be I think this team has a lot more of a chance than myself and a lot of the other people in the space are giving this team, because Projections say they will win, of course, like less than half, so less than 41 games, somewhere in the 30s. But if LaMelo Ball improves this year, Gordon Hayward plays, and the off-court situations with people that shall not be named in this video, come to pass, and we can bring everything together, man, we have a chance to make it back to the play-in, potentially make it out of there, or even get that 6 seed, man. I'm gonna be optimistic in this video. And finally, my last key takeaway was that Dennis Smith Jr. actually looked good at the backup point guard spot. There was a lot of turmoil over the offseason, or throughout the offseason, about the Hornets not doing anything. I was one of the leaders on that train, yelling at Mitch Kupchak, why aren't we doing anything? There's so much money to be spent. So many players are going elsewhere. Why aren't we doing anything? Dennis Smith Jr. came just out of nowhere near the end of the process, right before the start of preseason. He missed a lot of games in preseason due to personal reasons. We only got to see a little bit of him, but he actually played a good amount of minutes tonight, and he was very efficient with his minutes. He scored well. He distributed well. The only negative I can really think about was the one random unnecessary alley-oop that he tried to toss up to Nick Richards in the half court. It was ugly. It was unnecessary, and it was something that James Borrego might have pulled him for last year, but luckily, we're not dealing with James Borrego anymore, man. But that pretty much, those are my key takeaways for the game, and the things that jumped off the screen the most, because we were ahead pretty much the entire game. So I was able to analyze this just from a performance standpoint without having to worry about, what does the scoreboard look like, because we were good there. So next, I want to discuss who the overall team, the team overview for how the team performed overall. So they were above 50%. They hit more shots than they missed, man. 51.1% from the field, 48 of 94 from the field. They were 44.8% from 3, 13 of 29. Assist to turnover ratio of 26-15. So the ball was moving out there. This is good, but not great. But it does show that we were actually trying to make plays. Nobody was being selfish, and I think the box score reflects that as well. And I believe the thing that we could be the most prideful about is the performances of all of the starters, but four players that played heavy minutes in particular, they had over-unders that were over 20. And to be more specifically, they were over 25, closer to 30. Those being P.J. Washington, Dennis Smith Jr., Kelly Oubre, and of course Nick Richards. Kelly Oubre had it over under of 36. His minutes on the court was absolutely mind blowing according to the second level stats. But that is something else to be proud about. 4 players over 20 in this dominating game. Now, moving on to the top performances. Terry Rozier was the top performer that I chose in this game. 24 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. He steadied the ship as the starting point guard throughout the game, and he was steady-handed throughout the majority of it, and I don't really have any complaints about his game. But P.J. Washington was absolutely monstrous in his time on the floor. He played. PJ played the most minutes on the team, PJ Washington played the most minutes, right under 30 minutes, and he put up 17.7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks. PJ was serious this offseason when he said he wants to come back as a clamp god. He's going to be playing hard on the defense, but with the absence of those that shall not be named, he's going to have a lot more opportunities on the offensive side of the ball, and he took advantage of those tonight, so shout out to PJ Washington. But the most surprising performance, and the one that seems to be the most promising for the future, has to be Nick Richards. Nick Richards came in and absolutely balled, putting up a double-double, both points and rebounds being the highest of his career, being 19 points and 10 rebounds. He had never had more than 12 points, I believe the announcer said during the live broadcast, and I'm not exactly sure how many rebounds his previous career high was, but he had 8 offensive rebounds in this game, just cleaning up all of the misses, and there's probably a reason for that high field goal percentage that we saw during the team overview. And that led me to my original key point to start off this video is I think Nick Richards will most definitely be a starter for the Charlotte Hornets before Christmas if he continues to play this way, because Mason Plumlee is up there in age. He does a little bit too much when he gets the rebound. I'm pretty sure that they know the fans don't like him, and it's no reason not to play the young guy if he's showing this much promise, man. So with that being said, we had one more topic that I wanted to discuss, but I'm not going to be able to. This topic was going to be what I call the best youngin. So this was going to be who was the absolute very best first or second year player out there on the court tonight. But unfortunately, nobody really played well, be it the rookie nor the sophomores. Book Knight, Thor, Mark Williams, Kai Jones, nobody was impressive whatsoever. Kai Jones actually hit a three-pointer, so shout out to him. But combined, all of those players were one for 8 from the field. That one shot being the Kai Jones three-pointer, but a combined -17 from the floor. Majority of their time was in garbage time, so it didn't really have any impact on the overall score. But how they performed in this game does not lead one to believe that they have progressed. But it is only one game. But like I said in my caveat and when I prefaced everything that I was saying in this video, the San Antonio Spurs were absolutely terrible. So if it was any game that you were going to get in, have an efficient game, and get off, this was probably the game. And sadly, no second-year player could do that. So none of them get the award tonight, man. But that's all I have for you all in this post-game breakdown of the first game of the year for the Charlotte Hornets against the San Antonio Spurs. We looked great out there. We had several standout performances. No LaMelo Ball to speak of. No problem. We still went out there and got the dub. Shout out to him. Get well soon, Cody Martin. He went down like within the first 2 minutes of the game, so hopefully we'll get him back soon, and we'll have another strong piece in the rotation. But with that being said, man, you all leave your comments below. What did you think of the game yesterday? Did you watch it? Do you think we're going to be better than most people are giving us credit for? Do you think this was just an outlier of a game? Do you think this will not be the norm? Well, of course, 20-plus point victories won't be the norm, but playing this well, being this efficient, do you think we'll be able to keep this up when we actually face some of the more talented teams in the Eastern Conference and the overall NBA, man? But with that being said, remember to like the video, subscribe, and I'm Jamario Rashad. This is the way I see it, and I'm out. Peace.